Good afternoon, good people. I want to first of all acknowledge this heroic music from Scott Buckley. Before I get started in this video, I do also want to just give a shout out to the entire world that will hear this video to let you know that your life matters and that your life counts. We are living in a world today where there's so many distractions and so much noise that many people have chosen to follow the noise, follow the crowd, follow the next fad or the next hot thing. But the real warriors today, the real people that will rise up and be what they were called to be, are the people that's going to hone in and focus on the things they need to focus on. And so I'm going to talk to you in brief about what it really means to focus on yourself, what it really means to focus in and hone in on you. Because when you think about focusing on your life, it's about self-care. We're talking spiritually, we're talking financially, we're talking mentally, we're talking about our own relationships that involve us or our sphere of influence, the people that we touch and the things that are connected to us. Your greatest weapon that you have lies within yourself. And society seems to want to keep us distracted with so much noise, so many things going on around us. We know about what's going on over here, we know about what's going on over there, and we have lost sight on the most important thing that we need to be focusing on and knowing inside and out, and that is ourself in our own life. So when we think about focusing on ourselves, we're talking about prioritizing our own well-being. You know, it's interesting that sometimes people will think that because some political party or some political figure has decided to do X, Y, Z, that somehow, some strange way, that's going to affect them. When in all reality, no matter what political party you are for or are against, the only X factor that's going to determine your income or outcome is going to be your ability to take some proactive steps to make some necessary changes in your life. That's the reality of it. It doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter about what team you like, what basketball team you like, what football team you like. You got to understand that at the end of the day, you have a responsibility to get out of bed in the morning. You have a responsibility to eat the right foods, to make the right decisions, to don't party and smoke and drink your life away. You have to make those decisions. So when you talk about focusing on you now, you have to look at your life and say, does this make sense for me to do in my life in this age or in this stage in my life? Is this going to get me to that burning desire of the thing that I really want to do in my life? Is this thing really going to get me there? See, in order to achieve goals that we have for ourselves, then there are going to be steps we have to take, systematic steps, and a systematic plan of action to get us to where we want to go. If you want personal growth, where you grow personally, you're going to have to focus in on yourself. And it's not about making some big announcements to everybody about what you are doing. It's more about you just doing what you know you need to do. See, when you can get along with yourself enough to deal with yourself enough and say, these are the things that I'm doing right now in my life that's holding me back from getting to where I want to go. It has nothing to do with anything on the outside. That's just noise. That's just distraction. Have you noticed that with all of technology today, that most people get their input which result to be their output from all of this noise. Most people don't have, I like to say it this way, their own mind. They don't know how to think for themselves. They want to see what so-and-so have to say about the situation, what so-and-so have to say about the war going on over here, what so-and-so have to say about the economic crisis, not realizing that the way to effectively affect anything is to first affect yourself to change. Affect yourself to make moves, to make your life better. See, if I'm going to be a light, then I must begin to walk in the light of doing what I need to do in my life first. Most people don't grasp that understanding enough to begin to move in the direction they need to move in to make their life better. You know you need to eat right, but you continue to eat the wrong things every single day, and you wonder why there's no improvement in your physical health. Or you stay in a relationship where you're not valued, where you're not respected, and where you're treated as an inconvenience. And you suffer through that process knowing that you need to make some changes, knowing that if I'm going to begin to improve my life, I'm going to have to do things that are going to serve me and make me become better. See, one thing that is so much of a vice, I would say, in our life today is that we allow what people say to influence us. And you need to understand that words are spells. So when people are casting spells of doubt about what you could do in your life, or doubt about what the economy, they're saying it's so bad that no one's gonna be able to get ahead, and you believe that, you allow someone to cast a spell and it penetrated your outer ear, and now they went into your inner ear, into your spirit, to where you think now that you can't do X, Y, Z because so-and-so say this about the economy. Not realizing that you have the ability to create and to bring about in a so-called bad economy something that can flourish. But you have to shut out the noise so that way you can believe that it is actually possible, and you'll begin to just work on what you want to work on. If you go and plant seeds right now in your backyard that you're trying to grow plants, flowers, or any type of fruit or vegetable, if you cultivate that thing every day and you make sure that it stays watered, you make sure that the ground stays right, it doesn't matter what anyone says. They can get on the news and you can get the best agriculture guy. He can say, it's nothing's going to grow for the next 5 years, right? It doesn't matter what he says. But some people, they will listen to what he said and say, well, I guess because he said it, nothing's going to grow. So they'll go in their backyard and they will dig up the seeds, never giving them opportunity to bring forth what they could bring forth. Some of you have stopped doing what you're supposed to be doing because you listen to what somebody else said. See, this distraction of social media to many people got them thinking one way about this and one way about that. There's a scripture that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Do you realize if you constantly believe that you cannot do X, Y, Z, that it's not going to be done because you don't believe it enough to act on it? And that's what all mindset is. If you constantly don't believe that it's possible for you, then it is not possible for you. And so when you look at it that way, you got to begin to realize that if it's going to be possible for me, I must first believe it to be possible for me. Then I'm going to put some energy and some effort into doing what I need to do to make my life better, because at the end of the day, my life matters. What I do counts. And I don't need to verify what I'm doing with you or anybody else. I need to do what I do because it is in me to do it. I had to become very aware that what I'm doing, where I'm going, not everybody can go on the ride. Not everybody can get on the trip and go with me because they don't have the mentality, they don't have the desire, and it wasn't even given to them to do what I'm doing. And see, some of you want approval from your family or your friends, or you want to make sure you get 1,000 likes because you're doing this. Let me tell you something. You're going to have to believe in you more than anybody else. And you're going to have a mindset that says it doesn't matter what other people think, I'm doing this because it's been given to me to do. In a world where we want everybody to applaud us, or you want everyone to approve us, it's time that you approve yourself. So when you focus on yourself, there's a lot of self-reflection involved. And there's a lot of self-care involved. Something as simple as knowing that you need to go to bed at a certain amount of time. Something as simple as, no, I can't eat 2 pounds worth of food every night before I go to bed and expect not to gain weight, right? Or expect for it to become where it becomes a health issue if I do it for the next 10 years. There are certain things that you're going to have to do. There's proactive steps in success and in achieving your goals. And so that's why you have to take out time to plan your success. Success requires planning, especially in a world full of noise. If you can get past all the noise, the distractions, and divorce yourself from people that don't have your value system, divorce yourself from people that say you can't do it or they can't see how it can be done. Divorce yourself from those kinds of people and invest in yourself wholeheartedly, completely. Go all in on your vision, what you see yourself becoming. You can achieve it because you're not letting outside noise affect you. And I was telling someone this, and a lot of you have never heard this before, but it's worth saying today. Just because you're grown, it doesn't mean you just go and just do what you want to do because you're grown. And I tell people, you can't just listen to anything because you're grown, because certain things get inside of you, gets inside of your outer ear, gets into your inner ear, gets into your spirit, and now you take on the mindset of someone that won't be able to accomplish their goal because now you have been infected, right, by this crazy virus of just not believing that certain things are possible for you, or that things got to be this way because so-and-so said it. No, you got to divorce yourself from outside voices and begin to say yes to the inside voice that is telling you that this is what you've been called to do in this earth. And it's not about people following you. It's not about people agreeing with you. It's about you believing in yourself enough to go after what you're supposed to go. See, that's what focusing on yourself is all about. It's not about trying to call people haters. I used to think there was this thing called haters. But in all actuality, what it is just that it just haven't been given to them to do what you've been called to do. It's just as simple as that. When you can understand that enough to focus on yourself, you'll begin to experience the thing that you've been birthed to do. You'll begin to manifest it in life. That's all for this video. Hey, if you like this video, like it, share it, because there's more to come.